I am out of pizza sauce, so I'm going to make up a garlic white sauce for a chicken, potato, bacon, garlic pizza. And then we'll make a regular old pepperoni and sausage. And first, I'm going to put I'm going to make one on a pizza pan and one in my 15-inch skillet for like the deep dish. We'll make the chicken garlic one deep dish. Alright. And then here's our 2 pots to make sauce. I'm going to gather the ingredients. I will post the recipes in the description below, and I'll be back.
Go.
Okay, I'm going to start with the regular tomato pizza sauce. I've got garlic here. I've got a bunch of garlic because the white sauce has a bunch of garlic in it too. And some onion. So I'm going to get the garlic ready. I always do that. Alright. Just peel your garlic. Okay, fine. I mean, there's a lot of different gadgets for peeling garlic. Now, I don't really care if my fingers smell like garlic. I mean, it doesn't stay very long. And I find the gadgets are just silly. It's very easy to peel garlic without the need of a gadget. And you just smash the garlic a little bit to loosen up the what do you call that, skin. And that's it. I mean, you can see how easy it is to peel it without, you know, they have those rubber things that you wrap around them. I don't know. I just think they're silly. Okay, so I've got all this garlic here. And I'm going to mince it up. Going back and forth until I've got it all minced. Okay, I think that's good enough. Alright, so we got our garlic for both sauces. I need a little bit of onion for the tomato sauce.
Gross.
Jared doesn't like onions. He's also my videographer today. I could use garlic powder and onion powder, but I mean, I figure if I'm going to go through the motions of making it from scratch, I might as well use the real things. Okay. Let me grab the flour. Alright, we're going to get some low heat on into our pans here. Normally, like I said earlier, I would use olive oil, but I'm out, so I'm using peanut oil. Put my onions in for the tomatoes.
That's it. I
oil heat up a little bit, and then I'll add the garlic. Now for the white sauce, I like put in like a half a teaspoon of the peanut oil because I'm going to use butter. Hey, if you're going to live it up right. That's the way I figure. Okay. Turn that up a little bit. Get these onions. I'm making small batches, so I didn't need a whole lot of onions and garlic, but if, you know, once I have everything all mixed up, if I want a stronger onion flavor, I can just add onion powder then. But I like to have some of the real stuff in there. Okay. Make sure this melts slowly. I don't really want it to brown. Add the garlic for the tomato sauce. The heat's real low. I can add the garlic for the white sauce now too. Okay, so let's just let that slow simmer. I'm going to put it back on the simmer burner because this is the real high burner, and I don't want, like I said, I don't want my butter to brown. Okay, now the tomato sauce. I like to add my herbs and seasonings before I put the sauce in, so you can roast it a little bit. It kind of wakes up the flavor. I've got oregano. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of oregano. Basil. I'm using Penzi spices. I love Penzi's. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of basil. I'm going to add just a pinch of salt. I don't like to use too much salt because Scott's on a low salt diet. And then some pepper. Penzi's pepper. Get this all nicely mixed up. You can smell the herbs just roasting a little bit. Then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar.
What are you making?
Pizza sauce. And then add my tomato sauce. And then we'll just let that simmer. I'm going to throw in a bay leaf. It's not going to simmer very long,
I don't know.
but
I don't know what's going to happen.
it's always nice to have bay leaf in it. I always put it in my homemade spaghetti sauce. Okay, now onto the white sauce. My garlic's cooked in there nicely, and my butter hasn't separated or turned brown. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a roux. all-purpose flour. I had 2 tablespoons of flour. It's usually a tablespoon, or 2 tablespoons of butter, I'm sorry. It's usually a tablespoon of flour to a tablespoon of fat when you're making a roux. So we do 3 tablespoons of flour. Okay. Now mix that up. It's thickening up nicely. Let it cook for a minute, because if you don't, then it's going to taste floury. You got to let the flour taste cook out of it. Give that a stir. I'm going to taste it real quick, see if I need to adjust flavors.
He was using my username.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay, now I'm using heavy cream because, like I said, if you're going to go bad, might as well go all the way. Using about a cup of heavy cream. Okay, so we'll let that warm up, and it'll thicken up as it's warming, and then I'll adjust the cream if we need it or not. Let me add a little bit of basil. I don't want the herbs to be the strong prevailing taste in this. I want the garlic and the cheese to stand out. So this is just like a whisper of Italian herbs. Okay. Teeniest pinch of salt. And I'm going to use white pepper. So the pepper's not standing out. It's just like a dash of pepper. Okay. Let that thicken up a bit.
Yeah.
As the cream warms up, it will mix with the flour better and then thicken up, get nice and thick. You can see it's already getting nice and thick. Okay. It's like magic. And without the garlic, this is actually your basic bechamel sauce. Add a little bit more cream because it got really thick, and it's going to thicken up when I add the parmesan to it. Okay. Then I'm going to put about a half a cup of Parmesan cheese in here. Smells good.
If he uses my username one more time, then he's gone.
Okay. Give that a taste. Needs more salt. A little bit more pepper.
Yeah.
I'd rather go light and have to add more later. And then a little bit more cheese. This cheese I get from the Amish grocery store. Or actually, it's Mennonite in Amish country, but it's freshly grated. Yum. Okay. That's really thickening up. Turn off our fire here. Give it a flavor. Give it a taste. Okay, that's perfect. Want to taste it, cameraman? Take a finger?
No.
Okay. I might add a little bit more milk to that, and it actually just milk, not cream, because more cream would thicken it up. always use whole milk because watered down milk is really bad for you.
If he ever tries,
see, it's nice and
to get
cheesy
my
now.
Again, I'll ban his IP.
Perfect. Okay, now let's check our tomato sauce here. Smells good. I'm going to add a pinch of red pepper flakes. And you don't, a little dab will do you. I mean, I just like to have it for a little extra spicy flavor, but more than that, and it's going to be hot for people that don't like hot stuff. Okay, we'll be back. Alright, now we're going to make up the meats that we're going to use on our pizza. The chicken pizza is going to have, I have some leftover chicken in the fridge, which I'm going to use. And we'll have sausage, bacon, and leftover potatoes cooked up. So I'll just take some of this fresh bacon. This also is from a Mennonite butcher that we always go to, and they have the best meats. If you saw my hamburger video from last night, that's where we got those burgers too. I can cook them and cut them up, but I just find this is easier, and it's easier to control how well done you want them too. And I, you know, because they cook unevenly, so I can take some out while others are still cooking. Okay. So we'll cook up the bacon, and then I'll roast up the potatoes, pan roast the potatoes, and then I'll do the sausage last. Perfect. Very good. Okay, we'll be back. I had to, our battery died, and we had to switch batteries, so, and then potatoes are chopped up. These were smashed potatoes.
Which is exactly as it sounds.
Yeah, I boiled potatoes, and then I put them on a cookie sheet when they're done and smash them with the potato masher, and then put them in the oven and let them crisp up a bit, and then I season them and put cheese and green onions on it. Family favorite. The cheese is going to stick to my pan a little bit, but it will. Let me put some. Alright, we'll let those brown up for a minute. And then next, after the potatoes are done, some fresh Italian sausage. And this is also from the Mennonite butcher that we go to. This is the yummiest sausage ever. Alright, I'll wait on that. I don't know if these are really going to brown with the cheese on it. Cheese is sticking to the pan. But what I will do,
Nice catch.
there, got some Fox Point seasoning from Penzies. Put some of this on it. Got all sorts of, got like garlic and onions and chives and then seasonings. Put some of that on there, and then we'll do some pepper.
It's zombies. Zombies.
Like a nice peppery potato. Okay, and we'll be back. Alright, so the potatoes aren't really crunched enough, and that's because they have a lot of cheese on them. I mean, I can scrape it off the bottom of the pan, but I'm just gonna take them out of here, and we'll put them on the pizza last so they're on top, and they'll get crunched up from the oven. Luckily, my pan is nicely seasoned, so this will come off relatively easily. Okay. Alright, now some oil. And we'll do our sausage. I'll just throw it down in big chunks and then I'll break it up with the spatula. You know, it's a lot of work to make things from scratch, but the flavor is just so much better, and you know what's in your food. You don't have to worry about high fructose corn syrup and the tomato sauce, or
Especially compared to getting something like a frozen pizza.
you don't really get those that much. Either I make it or we order out.
But that's like the lowest you can go.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go wash my hands and we'll be right back. Alright, so the sausage is cooking up. It's almost done. I'm not going to cook it all the way because it'll finish cooking in the oven. And that way it doesn't get all dried out. But, almost done. And I mean, you can, even if you get the sausage in the lengths, you can squeeze it out of the lengths, or you could just cook it and cut it into rounds if you want. I like to make the pieces smaller. You know, Jarrett likes them kind of crumbly, and then Seamus likes them bigger, so I try to do some of both. Make everybody happy. Alright, we're very nearly done here. I'm going to pull the pans out of the oven, get things arranged so we can show you how we're doing everything, and we will be back in a minute. Alright, my pizza pans are nice and hot. I'm going to pull them out. The got that one. Got my cast iron skillet. Very, very hot. And I have to oil them a little bit. I mean, the cast iron skillet's not bad because it was just seasoned, but I don't oil the edges on this one, so when I'm making the crust on it, it'll stick to the edge. Otherwise, a lot of the times it kind of shrinks back. Okay. I've got butter melting in here. I'm going to use this to brush on the crust, and I'll sprinkle Italian seasoning and parmesan on the crust. Here's our pizza dough. Punch it down a little bit. Okay. I don't know how to toss do hand toss pizzas or spin them in the air or anything. Anytime I've tried, I've done that. So I just stick to the rolling pin. It's safer that way for everybody. Oh, okay, my dough's a little wet still, so I'm gonna have to add some flour to my table. Oh, hold on.
Should I cut?
Usually it's not this damp, but because the humidity is very high today, that's probably affecting the dough. The dough's stickier than usual. And it's sticking to my... Alright, I'll get some flour. Just sprinkle a little bit of flour right here.
Got it.
And I can grab it when I need it.
Yeah.
Flour at my rolling pin. Alright, let's give it a try. I like to go from the center out. And then I'll pick it up and turn it. Kind of stretch it a little bit. Out. Out. Turn it. This side's a little thinner than this side, so I'll concentrate more on these edges to make them more even. And I'm not worried about making a perfect circle. For whatever reason, can't do perfect circles. I know a lot of people can, but I don't, so I will shape it as I go. Okay, that's about ready. Alright, now what I'll do is I'm going to shape my crust. And then grab a few forks and poke. Otherwise you get big lumps when it starts rising in the oven. Or you could, doesn't mean you will. I mean, there's certainly been plenty of times I've forgotten to do this and it didn't happen, but
Just to be safe.
yeah. Okay. Now we're going to take this over to the stove and put it on here. This is hot, so I have to work fast. And I gotta try and spread my crusts out. You see, it shrinks back from the heat. That's why I don't like to oil the edges, because that'll help kind of keep it in place, but it's not working on this side. And I'm ripping.
What do you make, Mom?
I'm making pizza.
Why are you recording it?
So I can teach people how to make their own pizza.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Alright, now, here's my Italian seasoning. There we go. Italian herb mix from Penzies. I'm going to take my butter, brush it on the crust. Okay. Take a fingerful of parmesan and just spread it around on the floor. The dog will get it.
Or even the cat at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. And then I'll just sprinkle some Italian herbs on it. Give it a nice flavor. Alright. Now, pizza sauce.
What?
I'm looking for bay leaf. There it is. I didn't have any tomato paste. I would have put a little bit of tomato paste in this to thicken it up. That's why I let it simmer for like a half an hour, so it would help reduce it a bit to help thicken it up. But I think that looks good. Alright, let's get working on the other crust. Take your dough, and I like to stretch it out a little bit, and since this is a bit moist, work the flour into it. Flour up my rolling pin. Middle out. Middle out. Lift. Turn. Stretch. It's thicker on this corner, so I'm stretching it out to try to even it. Because it's always thinner closer to me. I must put more weight on it when it gets closer to me.
Whenever I'm nearby the stove, I feel like I'm burning.
I guess maybe you're too close to it. We're still relishing our new wood burner.
Think about how the cook feels.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, now one more turn. This is about ready. But it's thicker on this end. So I'll work this out. Since I'm using this crust in the cast iron pan, I can have it a little bigger because I'll just run the crust up the side of the pan. I'm not a pizza professional. I've just been practicing at home for many, many, many years. Alright, let's get it in the pan. This one's harder to work because this pan doesn't cool off like that one does, so I have to work really fast because the bottom starts cooking. And then, you know, once it starts cooking, it loses its elasticity, so perfect. Put some more butter the crust. Sprinkle on the parmesan. Depending on what kind of pizza I'm making, sometimes I put different things. Like if I make a taco pizza, I'll put cheddar on the crust. Or if I do a buffalo chicken pizza, I'll put cheddar on the crust too. And different seasonings and stuff. Just put them lightly on here. Okay, and now for the white sauce. See, perfect thickness. Even sitting there, it didn't get gloppy, so that's a good sign. We like a lot of sauce on our pizza.
As you can tell.
Okay, let me get the stuff together and we will be right back. Alright, I've got mozzarella cheese here. When I go to the Mennonite markets, I buy a big hunk of cheese. You know, when you go to the deli, they have it in the bricks. I buy the whole brick. I buy a whole brick of mozzarella and a whole brick of cheddar because we use so much of it. And I shred it up, and some of it's in the freezer, and we'll just use it all throughout the month. Because we make a lot of pizzas and cheesy sandwiches and stuff. We're big cheese eaters. This will be a pepperoni and sausage pizza.
Hey, that's my favorite.
I know.
Always my favorite.
Okay. And actually, how do I want to do this? We'll be right back. Alright, I've got some chicken here. It's leftover chicken from a stir fry I made the other night, so I'm just gonna... There's not a whole lot, but I mean, it's only one pizza and we have a lot of other stuff that's going on it, so I'm not worried about it. So I'm putting the chicken on. Ooh, got a pepper too. Okay. Now I'm going to grab some sausage. Throw it on there. This is like a white sauce meat lovers. Put ham on it too. No.
What's stopping you?
I'm not. Okay. Now cheese. Light layer of cheese on.
I don't see any fire in there.
Yeah, I see it. Sprinkle the potatoes on. Maybe we should put some cheddar. I don't know, what do you think?
Can't hurt. Cheddar makes everything better.
Okay. Wipe my hands off here.
Every time you go skip a video, it causes a permanent looping circle thing of death.
It's actually cheddar and a little bit of Monterey Jack.
Permanently buffering forever until you refresh the page.
Maybe it's just a bug they're having right now or something. Now you get your
You're welcome.
A little bit more mozzarella. Now the bacon.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's ready to go. I'm going to get that one in the oven because it takes longer to cook in the pan. Watch. I put it on the bottom to start, get the crust crispy, and then I'll move it to the top. Okay, we got our pepperoni and sausage.
Self-explanatory.
Seamus likes a lot of sausage on his pizza.
When he was little, that would basically be the only thing he'd eat off the pizza. That and the pepperoni.
He still lives off of pepperoni. So as you can see, we use a pound of sausage pretty quickly for pizza. Alright, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more cheese on it. And for this one, I like to sprinkle a little bit more parmesan on it, just for that extra bit of flavor. And that's it. In the oven it goes, and we will be back when they are done. Okay, we're gonna alternate or switch racks on these, so this can have the bottom near the heat. And this can start browning on the top. Look at that. It's coming together. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, we're going to check and see if our pizzas are done. It's nicely brown. Just want to make sure, I like to check to make sure the bottom isn't soggy. Look at that. Yum. Real quick. Oh no, this one's nice. Here. No, this one's good too. There's the oven on. smells good. Veronica. For when I do pizza or pretzel crusts. All right.
Well, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go eat. So, thanks for watching. If you liked my video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our page, Farm.
Just keep that nail.
And we'll see you soon.